Welcome to PLZ Soccer's fixture preview of the SPFL. We're into the last 5 fixtures, Ruffy. Let's start with Motherwell and Kilmarnock. Kevin Van Veen, he is 6 goals away from reaching 30 goals for the season. He's got 5 games to do it. Do you think he'll get there?
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance with the bottom teams. You know, he's certainly been scoring goals against them. He'll be a big threat to Kilmarnock tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kilmarnock will see they need to go and pick up something at that game, but I think Motherwell have just got a wee sneaking advantage on them.
Okay, Tam, Kilmarnock are grinding for every point they can get. As a relegation expert yourself, if you don't mind me saying, does it get a little bit more physical at this time of the season? What's the mindset going into this?
It gets more nerve-wracking, I think, as the season goes on. I think the season's never done. A couple of times I've thought I was clear of it and you get sucked back in. So Kilmarnock, listen, they've not been great away from home, but they got a great result at St Mirren last week.
Yeah,
Can they get two in the bounce? Who knows? But I think they might get a point here. I think Motherwell, they've not got really got a lot to play for. Kevin Van Veen will be trying to get that record, but apart from that, I know the manager's saying that every game matters, but as somebody that's been in that bottom 6 and safe, you're looking ahead to your holidays. So I think Kilmarnock are well capable of getting a point. I think they'll get a point, 1 each.
Okay, so you're on 1 each, and
I'm going to go Motherwell to win this one. I'm going to go Motherwell 2-1.
2-1, right, okay. Ross County and Livingston. David Martindale says he thinks they'll be okay, but they're 15 points away from Ross County. Does the split kind of bring in that element of doubt, do you think? Because obviously you can't go any further than 6th.
No, I'm like Tom. You know, I think this game in particular, Livingston don't have anything to go for. You know, Ross County do. You know, they'll be giving it everything. They know what's at stake. It has to be a win for Ross County. Livingston aren't playing particularly well just now. I think he'll start trying maybe some young boys or people who are going to be there next year at Livingston. So I went for Ross County to win this one, 2-1. 2-1,
right, okay. Tam, David Martindale's been quite open in the past about Nicky Devlin, Jack Fitzwater leaving the club. How does that resonate in the dressing room? Does that set a kind of mood amongst the players, do you think, if they know players are leaving?
Yeah, I don't think it's great if you know that there's key players leaving, and it's key players, you know, the captain's going to be leaving. I think with Nicky, he's probably got something lined up, maybe a pre-contract. I don't think he's going to be flying into tackles, to be honest. I think he's going to be looking after himself in terms of not getting injured. I totally agree with Ruffy. You know, I've been in that situation. You play against teams that are safe. You've just got a wee bit of edge about you. Ross County need to win. They're 4 points adrift now. They need to win this game, or else they are struggling. And I think they will. I'm going to go with Ruffy as well. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Ross County.
2-1, right, okay. The last game then of the bottom 6, we've got St Johnstone and Dundee United. Tam, you sticking to your word, St Johnstone finishing bottom? Why?
I just think that I don't think they're going to pick up many points in the bottom 6. I really don't. I think I'm going to back Dundee United to win this game. They are a team in form in the bottom 6. I think they've won 3 in the bounce. They're taking 3,000 fans to McDermott Park. You know, there's going to be a huge travelling supporting them. I'm going to go for Dundee United to win this. I still think St Johnstone are bang in this.
Right.
I think that the way the fixtures have came out, I think they've got Livingston in the last game, which might save them, because Livingston are, but apart from that, they've got hard games. I think they're away to Ross County as well. So I think St Johnstone are very much in this, and I'm going to go for 2-0 to Dundee United. 2-0
Dundee United. Ruffy, as Tam says, there are 3 wins on the bounce for Dundee United. What's been key to their upturn in form?
They've been getting penalties in the last 3 games. You know, they've been getting penalties at the right time. You know, they're getting a wee rub of the green that they possibly weren't getting before. I still think, I know Tam's saying St Johnstone are good. I still think St Johnstone have got something to play for. Obviously, a new manager. I think it's a difficult one. I can't pick a winner on this one, so I think I've went 1 each.
1 each, right, okay. Moving on to the top 6 then. We've got Hibs against St Mirren. Tam, Lee Johnson says this is the biggest game of the season. That's how huge he thinks this is. Do you agree?
Yeah, listen, I think they're all big games for Hibs coming up. They've got a new director of football coming in, which hopefully will give everyone a lift. St Mirren are in the shake-up. They're in there as well. I think they're sitting in 5th now, 6th. So it's a big game for Hibs, and they're starting to get players back. I think Kukurevich is back. I think Rocky Bashiri will be back.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you know, Lee's got options in there. He's got to finish the season strongly. You know, they've done well to get in the top 6. You know, but they've got to try and finish the season strongly. I don't think they're totally out of it for 3rd place, but they probably need to win every game, which I don't see happening. But they've got to win this home game. They've got home against St Mirren. If they win this game, listen, Celtic at home to Hearts, and Aberdeen have got Rangers. They're going to make up ground on the 2 above them. So that's a huge game for Hibs to try and catch the 2 teams above them.
Ruffy, the new director of football, Brian McDermott, he's got experience in Leeds, Reading, Arsenal and Celtic. How big is he going to be coming up to this summer transfer window?
Well, I think we'll just have to wait and see who he identifies. You know, he seems to be shouting for the rooftops that he can identify the next Kyogo. I mean, if he gets the next Kyogo, I'm sure his supporters will be all happy. But the proof will be when he starts bringing players in, and again, where the players are coming from. Because he's been down in England that long, he's probably identified some young players that he thinks can be better than what Hibs have got. But the proof will be when they come in, and if they're first team starters and they do well, you know. So I think it's better. I mean, Tam was more of the inside of the players that were turning up there. They were just turning up at training, weren't they? Didn't even know who they were. They were just coming along. So you've got a definitive now who the guy is. It's identifying players that are coming in, so that's a positive thing.
What are you going for? Against St Mirren
We
at
keep
home?
sitting here and saying Hibs have to win their home games, so they have to win their home games.
Yep.
You know, they never won the home one the last time, so I think I've went for them to win 2-0.
2-0?
2-1.
2-1, right, okay then. We've got Hearts against Celtic. This is the game that could decide. Celtic winning the title, they could wrap it up here, but Hearts will do everything in their power, Tam, to prevent a party happening at Tynecastle, won't they?
Yeah, they will, but they're not going to, because I fancy Celtic beat them.
Yeah.
I still think that Hearts have still in a slight chance of getting third, but I think there's 5 points the gap at the minute. I think that's too big.
Okay.
I'd fancy Celtic to go there and win.
Yeah.
I think the Celtic play at Ibrox the following week.
True,
A lot of Celtic supporters maybe think not to bother with winning this game. They want to win at Ibrox to rub it in, but there's not going to be any fans there.
No,
so
that's true.
I still think Celtic have got too much for Hearts. I think Celtic have beat Hearts, you know, every time they've played them this season. I think it's going to be much of the same.
Okay then, Ruffy, Celtic, they won't be looking at this game as in what happens after the final whistle. If they do win, they'll be approaching this like they have every other game so far this season.
Yeah, you want to win it. You want to get it out the road. You want to enjoy the remaining 4 games, you know, and celebrating every game after that, rather than hanging on waiting. My main worry is obviously Johnstone, Cameron Vickers, isn't he there? Don't know if Hatate's 100%.
Yeah.
But I still think they're good enough to go there and beat Hearts. I don't know why I've went 3-1. I've just been a wee bit
3-1, alright, okay.
expansive there.
You never go for 3 goals.
Always risky, isn't it? What are you going for?
I'm going to go for 4-1 to Celtic.
4-1 Celtic, right, okay. Just 45 minutes later tomorrow, Rangers and Aberdeen will kick off. Beale says he's expecting it to be an interesting atmosphere at Ibrox after their defeat to Celtic.
I think it will be interesting if they don't score in the first 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, true.
I think that a lot of Rangers fans are not happy with the way the seasons went. They obviously sacked the manager. Michael Beale's come in. They're going to finish the season empty-handed. They're not going to win anything. Aberdeen came down flying form, but I think that Rangers will get a lift just because they're playing Aberdeen, and they just got beat off them a couple of weeks ago.
Right, okay.
And I think that's going to stick in their throat a little bit. I think that the Rangers fans will be up for it. I think another fixture, you know, bar Celtic, I think if it was Rangers Hibs or Rangers St Mirren, I could maybe have seen a wee upset. But Rangers Aberdeen, I just think Rangers will be at it, and I think they'll bounce back. They've been good under Michael Beale. I think the only team to beat them outside Celtic is Aberdeen, but I think Rangers will get their revenge on them, and I'm going to go for a narrow win, 2-1.
A narrow one, right, okay, 2-1. Ruffy, is it the gripe for the fans right now for Rangers, is it that they feel players aren't showing up or they've checked out almost?
Yeah, they've not really focused on the players. They've not. The board have been having a go and protesting. None of the players have been singled out if you're not good enough. I think the team selection will be very apparent, you know, who's going to be there and who's not going to be there. It'll be interesting to see if he throws in a couple of the young boys, particularly Devine at full back. And we'll have to wait and see now. I thought Rangers done enough against Aberdeen up at Aberdeen. No, they could have been winning 2 or 3-0. So I think they're going to win at home as well and respond to the support that's there. So I've went 2-0. 2-0,
right, okay then. Moving on to our quiz. Hope you've done your research. Ruffy nicked it.
He's a bit died. That's fine. I'll get an easy win if he dies on the couch.
We'll do this quickly then, right. Closest answer wins for the first question, right? How many goals has James Tavernier scored this season?
16.
Are you going for?
12.
17. You were 1 out. 1-0, Ruffy.
10 penalties.
1-0, Ruffy, right, okay.
I forgot about that.
Which current Hearts player said he would finish his career at the club?
Holiday.
So he did, yes. Been reading the papers. Right, Tam, you need this
Ruffy's
one.
the only person that still buys papers.
Right, number 3. Who were the goal scorers for Aberdeen the last time they met Rangers?
Oh, Scales. That Stingley in the corner and...
He was one.
Jofsky.
Point each. Right, okay, 2-1. Okay, which country does Livingston...
3-1.
3-1?
3-1, aye.
Oh, 3-1, sorry.
Just the
Getting
last
you a point
question,
now. No? Which country does Livingston midfielder Stefan Amiyanga come from?
Italy.
Nearest country. I'll go Ghana.
Belgium.
Oh, wow.
Oh well, right, still 3-1.
I'm quite happy with that.
I was closest.
Give him the last one, there you go.
Well, we'll see what it is anyway.
Make one up.
Which Celtic player won Young Player of the Year last season?
Last season?
Yes,
Abada.
correct. Ran away with it this week. Ran away. Wasn't prepared. We'll be back next week.
Too busy today, I haven't even looked up paper.
Excuses. We'll be back next week with another round of fixtures to look forward to. And don't forget, you can join Peter and Tam on the Saturday Football Show later on today from 4 till 6.